everything is a part of forgiveness, because to be able, for example, to forgive your family member or whoever, you also have to forgive yourself,
I was waiting for that one.
But
That's
yeah,
like I was just thinking you need to explain how to forgive yourself.
yeah, because
Yeah, I've been asking you before, what does forgiveness mean? Or like, how do you forgive? Give some insight.
okay. For example, recently, my dad, when we was on vacation, when we was in Kabak in Turkey,
We had the
or
best time.
it started even earlier. Okay, I tried to go not too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we came back from vacation, I think I called my mom twice or 3 times. I don't know how often I called her, but I called her a couple of times. And then on the fourth call or third call, whatever, like they told me that my dad was sick and that he was in hospital and got a surgery and that everything went good and blah
After
blah.
how many days?
After how many days? What?
Did they tell you?
How many days after the surgery? I think it was 10 days or almost 2 weeks. 1 week or 2 weeks. 1 week or 2 weeks. I don't
And
know.
nobody responded to you
About
when
what?
you asked how they're doing?
I think so. No.
Okay.
And then I think my dad was in hospital that time. I think my mom was telling me that he was on some meetings or something like. I don't
So
know.
she was lying.
Yeah, she was lying.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, she was lying because I also told you once that I was realizing from her voice that something is wrong.
You
I
could hear
told
that she
you.
was
I
lying.
told you, but I was like, yeah.
But you
I
didn't
also
believe your intuition there.
no. I also talked to you. I think I also told you that
I
if they
remember.
want to tell me, they're gonna tell me. If not, I can only ask. Because I'm not like into anyone's business that much. If you don't want to share, you will not share.
I see.
You got your reasons for whatever you're doing in your life. I just take my
I respect
responsibility.
that.
But yeah, then they told me like blah blah, everything went good, and he's in hospital, and I was just like, kind of, yeah, I felt a lot of emotions. I was a bit angry, I was a bit disappointed, I was a bit sad, I was just like a mix of everything.
Very
But
complex mix.
yeah, but then I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it already happened. There's clearly nothing I could do about it. It's like, because for me, the thing is, you have to understand, I know that there's nothing on this world that you can't heal. You can heal from everything. You just have to know how, with which fruits, with which herbs, with which form of fasting, with which
I
whatever.
think you can.
And
You're a
then,
person who can.
no, I'm talking about not if a person can. I'm talking about if it's possible on this earth for a human
If
being to do
somebody
that.
knows if it's possible or not,
Exactly.
it's you. Because you know you can heal from everything.
Yeah, but I also know that everyone can heal from everything. I don't know if they tap it into the timeline, but I know for the human body,
You
it is.
know about the healing timeline.
Yeah, I just know about the healing timeline, or that it's possible for a human body to heal from every disease. You just have to know how long. There may be some deep cases where it's impossible, but that's like, I think, very rare. Like, and that has to be like different kind of damage. But still, like the main diseases that they're talking about, like the stuff that they say is unable to heal, whatever, I know that's possible. And that's why.
No, I believe you. I believe you're competent enough to say that, to be honest. I recently had a very, very interesting discussion with someone who doesn't believe in karma. It was a conversation about our emotions, or like your mental state, is it related to diseases? And that person was
Is your mental state related to diseases?
and or like also, is your karma related to diseases? Was the question.
Safe.
So a more esoteric approach. But there was a person who was very scientific, and they were like, there's definitely a connection between emotion and disease. But karma, no, because they can't find scientific evidence for that connection. But then again, I'm like, I definitely agree with you that what you're saying, but I think you're just thinking a bit limited to think that the scientific research is, or like evidence is so all saying, because I'm talking about metaphysical things happening here, so they cannot be calculated by three-dimensional research or evidence, which is science, which is valid and important and necessary. But how?
They're just not that far yet.
Yeah.
They're just like many levels behind.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, I cannot explain something higher to you.
I know.
You have to be higher to understand and know it.
It's possible to look down if you're on the top, but if you're on the bottom, you will never know what's on top. You know.
Yeah, you just can't see.
People can tell you stuff about it, but if you haven't seen it, you haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, it was just a very interesting discussion for me, because I really stopped explaining myself with them. Because first, of course, I had this need to explain to them that there is something higher, but as soon as I realized they don't believe in that higher, I'm like, okay, I cannot explain something to you that you don't believe in. And then I just take a step back. Just a note for the light workers. Know when to step back.
Yeah, because it's like you're leaning too far out and then you fall inside.
And there's also nothing I can get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like what am I reaching for?
If you're leaning too far, it means like you're at that point where you try to convince him. Then you're leaking
Then you're
again.
like him.
You fell into the water.
Yeah. Oh damn. Yeah. Don't let yourself be pulled into that gooey ass soup.
But it can happen to everyone, and it will happen.
Yeah, and it's not always something bad. Like sometimes it's just good to be reminded also where you're coming from, or where other people are at, and what you can learn from them. Because there is something you can learn from everyone.
Exactly. Like I also made that connection. If you are leaning more and more and more, that also automatically means maybe that you don't believe that much in what you are saying yourself.
You don't have the confidence.
So you try to convince, because then you gain the confidence. So you actually just trying to prove yourself wrong, and also learn, because that's how we sometimes learn, when we realize like, okay, I was wrong, he was right. So just communication is always key.
Yeah.
That's a very big part about forgiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. Also about, I think forgiveness is such a vital part for real harmony, because there are a lot of people who will play harmony and lack forgiveness and are really...
Like in those Fight for Paradise series.
They are carried by resentment, whatever you're referring to. He was referring to some reality TV that we're watching right now. But anyway, there is some faked harmony, which is very harmful and traumatic to a child. But there is also real harmony, and harmony also happens through fight, discussion, arguments. They're all conversations. But they are also vital for real, authentic harmony, because if you want to restore harmony, but after being authentically angry, upset, stressed, disappointed, all of that, when you can regulate yourself from them, then you're forgiving. And you can only forgive if you can regulate yourself from these experiences.
Yeah. I think what's funny is just, to me, it feels like since that day, because I haven't been able to talk to my parents yet, because I want to talk to them face to face, Like, when we want to forgive someone, we first have to talk to ourselves. But since it's two part of the party, there is also the other side. So when they have two part of the party, you have to also talk to the other side, and maybe sometimes just share how you feel, like not from a victim mentality, but just from a conscious mentality, Sometimes
Observant.
Sometimes it can also be the victim. However, sometimes we all find our way to communicate, But communication, at least if you try to communicate, no matter how you communicate, you're already one step than not saying anything at all,
I'm proud of you for saying that, because there were times where you couldn't talk.
I know, we learned. There was times where I was so triggered and she was talking to me and I couldn't talk. I'm like...
He's like, I'm making up my thoughts, and we're like sitting 5 minutes. And I'm like, is the thought done?
That's so funny. I'm wondering to how many couples that happens outside, because I think it happens so often where the man, either he says nothing or he just walk out of the room and be like, I'm gone, like I don't want to talk right now. I go drink alcohol or go play PlayStation or whatever, just distract himself from the emotions.
Yeah, it's like they only know how to exist in such situations where conversation arises in survival mode.
But yeah, what I want to say is that since then, I'm feeling in myself that whenever I talk to my mom now, because that happened like 3 weeks ago or something, I don't know, the vibe is not like usual, because I think for me it's just that I still have a bit of resentment that I felt like, for me, the thing was, I felt when I was in my introspective mode and I looked within myself to find out like what was the triggering point in that whole situation, I realized for me, for one thing, was that I was feeling lied to. So I was not feeling like seen and
respected, maybe.
Yeah, respected, but also like kind of, I think a bit, maybe not fooled. Yeah, kind of fooled, but also
Verarscht.
Yeah, fooled, but also on the other way, I'm just thinking that the issue that my dad is having, it is easy to heal it. You don't have to go to do a surgery where they cut something out. Because I just know that it's possible to heal it in other ways, and that's not the most high way of doing it, of healing, of so-called healing, because that's
The
not even
highest
healing.
potential.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking that it's a waste of potential, probably. But
and it makes you kind of mad.
yeah, it makes me mad. That's why I'm saying,
feel
like,
this so
I feel so many different emotions because they're all connected to one part of the whole story. I'm feeling mad because this. I'm feeling sad because this. I feel like multiple different emotions in the same time.
Can I refer to that one emotion where you feel disappointed because potential was wasted? Because I've been reflecting on that a lot, because someone in my family has been sick as well and talked to me about a surgery they're getting to heal themselves. And I was also just feeling disappointed and sad for them that they are not using the potential that I know is possible.
Exactly.
And by that, I just hurt myself, because I am no one to judge their karma and their path that their soul has chosen. And I'm actually interfering with my own karma by trying to change theirs. And this is so important to know as a healer, is that you only invest your energy into people who are coming with the intention to heal themselves, that you know is possible. If a person does not believe in that, they will need external help to be healed. And that's why the medical field exists, and because it's also very lucrative and stuff. But a lot of times people take the easier road and they will do the operation. But we know as healers, as holistic healers, thinking of the body as a whole, we know that sooner or later, this is the shorter road. We want to go the long road because we want to seize the potential. And I also can tell how a lot of people don't understand us because they don't even want to do what we're doing. They don't even want to extend this far. Like it's not meant for them in this lifetime, and it will appear annoying to them. I understand that as well.
What is also funny to me is how you, Nick, and me also have a karmic bond, a karmic
Through
connection
that,
in
we
that
are
way.
all going
Because
through
we
that.
all been through that situation recently. Like
Mm-hmm.
in this, I think it's a period of the last 3 months. First Nick, then you, then me, then you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Me 2 times even.
we all have our
Wow.
yeah. We all share the same karmic lesson there, you know.
Mm-hmm. With the like sick family member.
Yeah, and that's also like how you dealing with it, especially if you want to help and you know you can help. Like
Mm-hmm. You know you are qualified,
Yes.
but they're not open. That is heartbreaking because you know it could be possible, but it is not chosen in this lifetime because they have not karmically agreed to it.
because others are dealing with a different kind of challenge, karmic lesson in that karmic situation, though. Because for some, they know that they can't do anything, and that makes them feel hopeless or whatever. You know, everybody's feeling different kind of emotions. You know what I'm saying? For some, when their family member is sick, they are just sad because they can't help them, even if they wanted to. For us, it's like we're on the other side. We know we can help them, but we are also not able to do it. You know, so it also depends on like where you are on the journey. That's how it's your karma is related to another karma, so it's different outplays. But yeah, especially that's why I'm saying like you, Nick, and me, we share.
Is he also the youngest?
He's also, I think, he's also the youngest.
Be aware of the youngest child, man. They are the
I think
wisest
Nicholas
of
also-
the family.
Yeah, I think he's also the youngest. I think he's older than his sister.
I feel like and it really shows in the youngest how the family karma is also being carried out. Because the youngest child is most times the furthest away from the first family member, you know,
So they also
age-wise.
have a special bond. The
And
youngest and the
also,
oldest.
they also grow up in a different world than their father and stuff.
Yes.
And that's why they're the new generation. And in them, you can really see how the family karma will be played out because a lot depends on the youngest child.
You know what I'm thinking about?
Also the oldest. A lot of responsibilities on them. They have a completely different karma, and we have observed both that being the oldest child is really a tough karma, like a special karma. Oof. We need to invite our siblings, low-key, and ask them. So going back to the question of forgiveness, definition of forgiveness and how to do it.
Yeah, we just explaining some stuff and then summarizing everything again in the end, you know, because right now we explain a lot of stuff, and that's why everything is a part of forgiveness, you know, because to be able, for example, to forgive your family member or whoever, you also have to forgive yourself, you know.
I was waiting for that one.
But
That's
yeah,
like I was just thinking you need to explain how to forgive yourself.
yeah, because the world turns around us. That's for everyone. You know,
Leo season energy.
you are the star in your universe. That's how life is. I'm the star in my
And that's
universe,
the
and you are the star in
facts.
your universe. You know,
Exactly
even
that.
even the greatest NPC out there is the star of his universe. You know, for us it's the NPC, but for his life. You know, so
For them, we're the main characters.
that's why our mind always relates everything that happens outside of the world to himself, you know. That's why when something happens to my dad and his actions and how he respond to it, I will think in my mind, or my ego will see that it is about me, you know, because I feel hurt.
You think about your emotions.
Yes. So these emotions that are within me has nothing to do with them. They have to do only with myself, you know, because
the emotions ego file. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but for example, our parents are like this. They don't want their children to be hurt, you know. They want to protect their parent role, where they are the protector, they are the provider, they are the nurturer, they are stronger, they help you. Like these are your parents, you know, you can rely on them. And that's why when
That's their
something
ego.
when something happens to them, they feel like, I want to protect my children from it. So their purpose is not even to hurt us, but we
No.
still feel hurt, and that's why everything that happens outside of the world, if we look into
Can you
us,
put them down? Because people don't see your face.
if we look into ourselves, we will just realize more about our own programming, because that's how our programming works in a specific way. And that's how also I see my karma when I just observe myself consciously, in triggering situations. When my dad says something or he has an action, even though he wanted to do something good for me, he wanted to protect me, he wanted to like do whatever, I still felt the way I did. But when I will talk to him, I won't communicate that in a way that he did something to me. I will just tell him like how I felt, so he can realize, okay, my actions have
Cause something.
consequences, even though I thought that I would create something different.
I didn't.
I just realized myself, okay, I have to be truthful, to my son. I have to be this and this. Like, for me, it's more about virtues, It's not about...
Do you mean values?
Values. Yeah, like both. And I just think that we are only able to really communicate with somebody else that have hurt us, that said something, did something to us, if we look within ourselves first and categorize all of the emotions that we're feeling, realizing why we are feeling it, to then just realize, okay, it's about me, it's not about them. And that's a very hard and also complex and difficult thing to do. That's why some people have like psychiatrist. How do you say it? Psychiater.
Psychiatrist.
Psych. That's really
Never mind.
That's why some people have psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever, because they need someone.
So messy.
I just cannot pronounce the word, but people will understand what I'm talking about. They need someone to help them to understand their own mind, because if you don't have a lot of mental energy, you will not understand your mind. You will just be a victim of it. But either you are able to do that yourself, or you need some help, because not everybody has to do everything, So some people really need someone who can understand their mind and help them. But
I think
what is important
a lot of people need them.
Safe. And what is important there is to always be able, as a good psychiatrist, I don't think that's what a lot of people are doing, since the world is full of people doing something that they don't like out of reasons because of something else, Because everybody's just doing something.
It's hard out here being someone who just does what makes them happy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are...
Nobody can relate to us.
A lot of people are psychologists or psychiatrists, and they just do it because like it gives them a lot of money, or it was just
people don't understand that this is one of the most challenging services you can give.
Yeah, and then there are also some who like really want to help people and empower them, because for me, it's about empowering the other person to know that, that's in your world, but you also have the power of it. You can change that, and not just tell someone everything about themselves. Like,
not just explain someone who
to
they
help
are.
someone to help themselves. That's always the goal,
That's the difference between a psychologist and a coach, actually.
Maybe.
Because the psychologist will help you to become aware of your mental.
Yeah.
But the coach will teach you how to improve your mental.
Yeah.
That's why the second step after a psychologist, when you really want to improve, you go to a coach. Because like I said, a lot of people should have someone who makes them aware of their mental, aka a psychologist. But not enough people can even go to a psychologist, because what do you have to put down to be a client?
But
your pride. You have to be vulnerable. And not a lot of people are willing to do that.
Yeah, but that's why I also think like you can just do it to yourself,
If you do it, you will improve.
You can start easy by just journaling, for example. Everyone can journal. Everyone can write down whatever they are feeling, thinking.
I don't think everyone can do that, to be honest.
I think it is possible for everyone.
You know it is possible, but I know not everyone can do that for mental reasons.
They may don't want it, but they can. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I see. Yes,
Not
we
everybody,
agree.
not everybody want to. I know, but everybody can. The possibility just exists. That's what I mean when I say can. And that's why I say there are many tools out there to be introspective. You can go to a psychologist. You can journal. You can meditate. You can do breath work. You can do whatever. Physical exercise. I don't know. Like everyone has their own way of finding out about themselves. But
If they want to
you-
improve,
yes, if you want to improve, and if you do that, you will dive deeper and realize, okay, for example, me, I realized that, my dad, it was not the intention of my dad to hurt me, And that's why I will communicate with him on a different frequency than when I just want to blame him or
you
whatever.
will be in your empathetic bag.
Yeah, because I see his point, but I also have my point. And he will realize it.
Firm boundaries.
Yeah. So forgiveness is...
The best friend of forgiveness are boundaries.
Forgive yourself, but also know your boundaries. And yeah, the challenge is just like to push the boundaries.